Sometimes the smallest actions produce the biggest results in a garden. I learned this firsthand when I tried a simple eggshell trick, and within days worms were swarming my soil like a well-trained army. It sounds almost unbelievable. Just a single eggshell, and suddenly the ecosystem under the surface came alive. But the science behind it is straightforward, fascinating, and incredibly useful for gardeners of any level. Worms aren't just a bonus, they are critical partners in soil health, improving aeration, structure, and nutrient availability. Understanding how to attract them can transform a struggling bed into a thriving, self-sustaining system. For Hydrohaven viewers, this is more than a quirky experiment. It's a practical, actionable strategy that leverages natural processes. Once you understand why worms respond to eggshells and how to maximize the effect, you'll see dramatic improvements in soil fertility, water retention, and plant growth. The eggshell works because it provides both nutrients and structure for soil life. Eggshells are primarily composed of calcium carbonate, a mineral vital for both plants and worms. When buried or crushed into soil, they gradually break down, providing a slow-release source of calcium that stabilizes pH and improves overall soil chemistry. Worms, sensitive to soil composition, are naturally attracted to areas where they can find minerals to aid digestion. The eggshell essentially signals a fertile zone, inviting worms to congregate and begin their work of aerating and enriching the soil. In practice, this means that even a single crushed eggshell can create a hotspot in the soil. Worms detect the minerals and move in, feeding on both the shell and surrounding organic matter. Their activity mixes the shell throughout the soil, distributing nutrients far more efficiently than a gardener could with hand-applied amendments. Over time, this creates a self-reinforcing cycle. More worms improve soil structure, which attracts more worms, and plant growth benefits as roots penetrate more easily and access better nutrient flow. You know, gardeners often overlook micro-mineral additions that dramatically improve soil life. While compost, manure and mulch get most of the attention in gardening circles, trace minerals like calcium often get ignored. Calcium plays a pivotal role in cellular growth, soil pH balance, and microbial activity. By introducing eggshells directly into your beds, you provide a natural, highly bioavailable source that worms and microbes can use immediately. Unlike synthetic supplements, eggshells break down slowly, feeding both soil life and plants over weeks or months. To maximize this effect, crush the shells finely before adding them to the soil. Larger fragments work too, but, well, they take longer to decompose. A single crushed eggshell per square foot can attract worms, especially when combined with a layer of organic mulch or compost. Worms not only consume the shell, but also use it to line their burrows, which improves soil aeration and drainage, a dual benefit for gardeners struggling with compacted or dry soil. Eggshells alone aren't enough to generate a worm explosion. Soil moisture and organic matter act as catalysts. Worms need moisture to move easily and organic matter to feed on, so placing crushed eggshells in lightly moistened beds with a thin layer of compost or mulch makes the area, well, absolutely irresistible. Well, in my experience, Lightly digging the eggshell into the top 2 inches of soil, giving it a good watering, and then covering it with mulch really encourages immediate worm activity. Within just a few days, you'll notice small worm channels appearing, and within a week, worms are actively congregating and spreading those minerals throughout the bed. This whole process also improves water retention, as worm burrows create channels for water to penetrate, reducing surface runoff and evaporation. Applying this trick is simple and scalable. You just start with a few crushed eggshells and scatter them across the bed, lightly mixing them into the top layer of soil. Then water gently and cover with mulch or compost. For larger beds, increase the number of shells proportionally or use larger amounts strategically in areas where soil is compacted or nutrient poor. For potted plants, a single finely crushed shell sprinkled into the soil mix or on the surface can attract worms if you're using worm-friendly compost. Over time, the shells will dissolve, feeding both soil life and plants, and creating a more resilient mini-ecosystem. Observing worm behavior also provides insights into soil health. Active worm populations indicate well-balanced soil, while low activity may signal compaction, dryness, or nutrient deficiencies. The beauty of this method is its simplicity. One small, otherwise discarded item becomes a catalyst for soil regeneration. Worms are not just helpers. They are ecosystem engineers, transforming organic matter, improving aeration, and distributing nutrients efficiently. By understanding what attracts them, minerals, moisture, and organic matter, we can replicate and even accelerate these natural cycles in our gardens. For Hydrohaven viewers, the takeaway is clear. Sometimes the smallest actions create the largest impact. Using eggshells to attract worms is inexpensive, sustainable, and effective, turning beds that struggle with fertility or compaction into thriving, self-regulating systems. If you want more experiments that unlock the hidden life beneath your garden, practical tips to boost soil health, and methods that improve plant growth naturally, make sure to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this video with fellow gardeners who appreciate science-based, actionable strategies.